happen. Just like yesterday, the electricity is off, all the machines will remain idle. They can't work. Similarly, Atman is the electricity for all the beings. Me, the plants, the animals, the birds, the entire kingdom of the world. It is that which activates. And individually speaking, our eyes cannot see if there were no Atman inside. It is the power of the Atman which enables us to see through the eyes, to hear through the ears, to smell through the nose. So all these senses, the five Jnanendriyas, the senses of perception, and the five senses of action, all the 10, each one of them is activated by the Atman. If that Atman were not there by themselves, they cannot do anything. You cannot lift your little finger but for the power of the Atman. And it is the Atman who has lent the power of illumination to the sun, to the moon, to the fire. On the contrary, if you want to see the Atman, any amount of the sunlight the sun may shed, you can't see the sun in it. You can't see the Atman in it. So the sun can never illumine the Atman, but the Atman illumines the sun. Atman illumines the moon, but the moon will never be able to throw any light on the Atman. With all the moonlight, you search for the Atman, you can't get it. So the moonlight is incapable, it is jada, it is inert, it can't do anything. The power it derives is from the Atman. So the fire also is the same way. So these are the three sources of light for us, the sun, moon and the fire. So when all these things are useless, how is fire going to illumine the Atman? Not at all. It can't. That is what he is going to say in the present one. न तद्भातयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. The abode of Atman, the location of the Atman, the location of Atman is everywhere. So the abode of light of the Atman, but we are talking from the level of consciousness. The day you are going to recognize the Atman, your level of consciousness will rise to the highest possible. That is, you go to that infinite supreme consciousness. You merge with it. So the level of consciousness to which we reach, that may be called the abode of Atman. Atman lives in that plane, in that level of consciousness, not at this level. So, Tatve Suryaha na bhasayate. That Atman you can take by Tatve the Atman. So the Atman cannot be illumined by the sun. Suryaha means the sun. The sun cannot illuminate. Then, na shashankaha. Shashankaha means the moon. In Sanskrit, the names have all got a significance. The moon is called the Shashanka. Why? Shasha means a rabbit. When you look at the moon from here, you will find some geographical figure there which, if you see, some people will say it is just like a deer, some people say it is just like a rabbit. So Shashanka means the one who has got the mark or symbol of a rabbit in him, he is called the moon. You don't find such a thing in the sun, you find it in the moon. So he is called the Shashanka. Na Shashanka, the moon cannot illumine the Atman. Na Pavakaha. Pavakaha means the fire. Why is fire called the Pavakaha? Pavanam karoti ti pavaka, that which purifies. If you have got the gold with its dross straight away, and if you want to make it purer, you melt it in fire. So the fire purifies that. And when Rama suspected Sita, he said, you bathe in the fire, let me see. If you come out unscathed, then I will believe. So when she came out of the fire, he knew that she was pure. The Pavaka means it purifies. The sun also represents in the microcosm in the body, the eye. For everything in this macrocosm in this world, we are corresponding item exists in our own body. They say, Yat Pinde Tat Ande. Ande means Brahmanda. In this universe, whatever is there, you will get a mini part of it inside our own body. So the moon has got its representative, that is the mind. The sun has got its representative, that is the eye. The Vedas say that out of the mind of the cosmic Purusha, Chandrama manacho jata chaksho suryo vajayata mukhadindraksha. Like that, each one came out of a particular thing. The sun came out of the eye. And that is why, at the time of death, we guide the soul to go back to the proper place. There are mantras. See, neither the chanter knows nor we know normally, but there are beautiful mantras. In one of the mantras, all the 5 elements which are in our body, we ask them to go back to the respective regions where from they had come originally, to the source. Chandrama mano gacchatu. Let the mind go back to the moon. Let the eye go back to the sun. It is not only in our Vedas. In the book of the death of the Lamas, if you see, the priests for a number of days, perhaps it extends to some months, 1 or 2 months perhaps, I don't remember. So the priests will be going on chanting, guiding the soul. There also similar things come. They are disintegrating the various elements of the body and sending them to their own sources. So all these things inside there also they cannot be even, because now with the eyes only we are seeing. Even if the sunlight was there, without the eye, I can't see anything. So the eye is an important factor for seeing. But how does the eye see? The eye sees because it is activated through the mind by the Atman. It is the Atman who activates them all. We have already studied how this Atman activates. There are some beautiful slokas in Hattamalakiya, I think, which we went through some 2 months back here. Yadgatva na nivartante tadhāma paramam. Look here, do you know, to whatever level of consciousness you go, you have to come back to the base. We will come back, you can't remain there. They are all unstable levels. You will come back to your natural level. Supposing you see the God as you presume, Saguna Sakara, with form, with attributes, a God with a mace in his hand, with chakra in another hand, and with a gada in another hand, with a mace, with a discus. Say Lord Narayan, you are looking at him, the vision, you think that, well, I have now got the Sakshatkara, I got the realization of the Lord. But that Saguna Sakshatkara cannot last. And that is why one of the greatest of philosophical guides who was still recently alive, Punjaji, when he came to Bhagavan, he was complaining to Bhagavan, look here, in those days, Lord Krishna used to come to me and talk to me, but I don't know what has happened later, he doesn't come to me any longer. I don't know whether he will agree with me or what has happened, or I lack in my faith. Then Bhagavan asked him, you tell me, how did you come here from Lucknow? He said, I came by the train. I don't see the train. Where have you left the train? Oh, the train has left me in my destination, so it has gone away. So it is no longer with you. So that Krishna which you are seeing, it has left you at the destination where you are to reach. It has gone to its own place. It won't be there any longer. It is only a milestone. A milestone will not come along with you. A milestone is meant just to encourage you. Yes, I have traveled so many miles, only so much is left. So it encourages you. So all these visions which come to us in between, so many visions, the vision of light, the vision of sound, none of them is final. So long as you see something external to you, take it, it is not final. Because the final experience is not an experience, it is a non-experience. You merge in it and that is all. So who is the experiencer? There is nobody to experience left. There is nobody to come and tell you back, yes, I merged with the Brahman and now I come back as Shantananda to talk to you all. It can never happen. It is just like a salt doll merging in the ocean and it goes to measure its depth. So it is not possible. That is why this final place, that final conscience, the one thing where you reach all differentiation is lost. You will never see afterwards the world as you used to see. The entire world, number one, it has become a paper tiger. Will anybody be afraid of the paper tiger? So a jnani will never be afraid of that world because that world has lost its fangs. It is no longer the poisonous serpent it used to be. You can play with it in any manner you like, you will be caught. So he reaches a stage from which he will not return. That is the stage, the final stage. A man who once goes in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, even if he comes down to a little lower level, he doesn't lose that consciousness. That consciousness of himself being one with the Brahman. And he is always aware of it, he is always merged in it, even if he comes down to a much lower level for the sake of the devotees, as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa did. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa came down to a level where he used to be in duality, knowing pretty well that the ultimate thing is all non-dual. And still he preferred, for the sake of the devotees, to remain in that state. That's all. There are very few, I don't know that there is anybody at all except Bhagavan, who remain in that state uncompromisingly. Presumably, the devotees who were to come to Bhagavan, they were all people who were chosen, who were of the highest order, that they just needed the touch of Bhagavan to reach that highest state. And only such people came to Bhagavan. Nobody else could have come to him in those days. I mean, that's my own opinion. Yadgatva nanivartante. A place where after going, how do they go to that place? They go to that place by the grace of the Guru and by their own efforts. After hearing about the Atman from the scriptures, from the Vedanta, through some competent masters, and hearing alone will not do. That's called the Shravana. That is the first step. The second step is Manana. You have to make it your own. You have to chew it, you have to mix it with your own digestive juice, and it should be completely digested by your intellect. And that you can do only by coming and reflecting, cogitating, meditating over it. How did he say that? What do we see in the normal world? Is it so? Supposing he says, there is no world apart from your body and mind. It is your mind which has created the world. So find out, how could it be? Yes, in my dream what do I do? Yes, I create the world. So it is my mind which creates the world. And when I go into deep sleep, I don't find the world at all. Neither the dream world exists, nor this so-called waking world, neither this exists. So that means it is the mind which creates it. Thus, you try to argue, give your own arguments, give examples from your own daily life, and thus make those instructions your own and be convinced of it completely. So So by all this process, then afterwards, once you are thoroughly knowing about it, then remain absolutely established in that. No more thoughts of anything. If you can either remove all thoughts or you remain thinking of the Atman. Atman can be thought of in many ways. Atman can be thought of by these attributes which are given. Atman is untainted. It is Niranjana. Atman can never be harmed by anything. Atman cannot be pierced by weapons. So like that you go on thinking of the Atman. Or the third and perhaps the direct method is the self-inquiry. Simply go on asking, who am I, who am I? It is not a question of asking again. See, sometimes we talk in a loose way and people may take it in a real way. So one has to be careful in talking. So it is not a question of repeating as to who am I. You should be in that quest. You should be really interested as to who I am. That you will know only if you know all these things which we are so much studied in the Gita, that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the senses, I am not any of these things. I am unique, I am the spirit, I am that Atma. So unless you know the quest, it will be more difficult for you, because on the one hand you will be asking, who am I? From the other hand, there will be a small chuckle, something will be answering as if you don't know your Shantananda. It will be telling. So that will be of no use. So you should be really interested, you should know pretty well that I am not what I presume myself to be. I am something else. And then only you will be able to think on that aspect as to who I am. With a real quest, if you have lost your most valuable necklace, then what do? You don't go on asking, where is my necklace, where is my necklace? But you are completely at it, you are searching for it everywhere. Similarly, you go into the heart, search for it, go behind that ego, and that is the method which Bhagavan has taught us. Yam prapya nivartante. Prapya, after having attained which place, na nivartante. People never come back to the lower level of consciousness. They never come back. This can be taken in two different ways. In one way, as I said, that is for a practical sadhaka, it is the highest level of consciousness, that now you won't return. From the other point of view, he means, after death, there is no more birth for you. A person who is liberated while alive, a person who by these means, who has reached the Lord, who has had the sakshatkara or the realization of the Atman, who has become one with him, such people, when they die, they will never more, there is no question of very many returns. You can't reach them. There is no more return. You can reach them there. That's all. They won't come back. So, tasmādaparihāryē'rthē, the supreme place, it is the supreme goal. That is the supreme place of mind. That is the supreme abode of myself. Dhamma means normally a place where somebody lives. So it is an abode. So, mama dhamma, it is my place. What sort of a place it is? None of these can ever equal it. It is something which is supreme, where you will be in supreme bliss, where you will be in supreme peace, where you will have no more any wants, no more any needs. There will be nobody to be afraid of. All security, all happiness, all that ineffable bliss. BGP. Now, the next one. Abhyaktoksara ityuktaha tasmādaparihāryē'rthē gatim yam prapya na nivartante. Previously at Gatva it was, now it is yam prapya. Gatva, prapya both mean the same thing. Gatva means after having gone. Prapya means after having reached. Both mean the same thing. Yam prapya na nivartante tvaṁ param mamam. Now he says, what should be your goal in life? Will it be to become a billionaire? Because nowadays millionaires are nobodies. So billionaires are the least. Or do you want to become extremely famous like Rabindranath Tagore or like Kalidasa, or in any manner you want to make a name so that everybody newspaper should tell, oh, here is a person of unique capacity and all that. Do you want name and fame? What actually do you want? Everybody has to decide the goal. And unanimously, as per the scriptures, and if you cogitate, you will yourself come to the conclusion too, there is only one supreme goal, that is to know oneself. What is the use of our getting a name and fame? For whom you are getting a name when you do not know who you are who is getting the name and fame? You think it is Shantananda? No. So first know yourself and then do what you want. That is what Bhagavan says at the last. After giving him all the instructions as to how he should reach the Atman, the finally he says, look here, I have told you everything. Yadhechati tathātu. As you want, you do. And I used to say, if you say as you want, you do, you think that God is giving us the free will. Not at all. It is a compulsory choice. It is no choice at all. In English there is an expression which is called Hobson's choice. Hobson used to be a character in some novel or something of Dickens, I don't remember where. He is renting out carriages and horses for people. Just as today, people rent out their cars and taxis. You may take it, go around, on the third day you give it back. So whenever people used to come to him, the carriages were outside, the horses were all inside the stable. There was a small house, so with great difficulty all of them have been put inside. He used to tell them, you choose any horse you like, provided you choose the horse which is nearest to the entrance. There is only one horse. So we have got no choice. This is called the Hobson's choice. So Bhagavan also tells him, Yadhechati tathātu, as you want you do. And in the previous sloka he said, it is I who is sitting inside you and who is whirling you around as if you are a marionette in your wheel, a puppet in your wheel. And immediately he says, oh yes, you do as you want. That's all. There is no choice. So, abhyaktaha aksharaha ityuktaha. The Lord or that Atman, the Self, the Supreme Being, he has got several names. And here he is giving the two names, which is very, very significant. Number one, he is called Abhyakta. Abhyakta means, Vyakta means that which is explicitly seen. So Abhyakta means who cannot be seen explicitly, that is unmanifested. He has not manifested himself outside so that he will be capable of perception. You can't perceive him through your eyes, you can't perceive him, taste him through your tongue, you can't hear him through your ears. No. You can't perceive him through any of your sense of perception. He is beyond it. So he is called unmanifested. But there is one more thing which is also called the Abhyakta. Now people might confuse. If he only says Abhyakta, it may be any of the two things. What is the other thing? The power of the Lord which creates this entire world, which is called the Prakriti, which is called the Maya, which is called the Avidya, which is called the Ajna. These are all the names of the same power of the Lord. It is that which has created this entire world. And Prakriti is the handmaid of the Lord. She cannot work independently. She is completely under his control. But he doesn't give any instructions. Prakriti knows what to do. Even though it is inert. It is inert. The only sentient being is only that Atman. Nothing else is sentient. Nothing else has got consciousness. All the other things are all inert, jada. They don't have the consciousness. They don't know that they exist. But still, Prakriti works just in the presence of the sun, presence of the Atman. How? When the sun is just present in the sky, early morning he comes up. Immediately everybody wakes up. Everybody begins to, somebody has to go to the office. He immediately gets ready, goes to the bathroom and gets himself attired well for going to the office. Then the housewife there, she begins to prepare tea or coffee. And the milkman, immediately he milks the cow, then he brings it and distributes early in the morning. The newspaper wala, he goes to a train at the proper time, gets the things, and he does it. So everybody automatically activated. The son doesn't go knock at the door of Shantananda and tell, Shantananda, I have now risen up, come on, get up, get up. No. Just in his presence, everything is active. Supposing in a house there is an old man, 85 years old. He has 3 sons and 3 daughters. The last daughter is getting married. So this old man cannot be running anywhere. He'll be just present and sitting. The sons, the daughters, the son-in-laws, they will all be running here and there and doing everything in his presence. Supposing he was not there, you will find the garland won't come and something won't be there. And whenever the priest asks for something, he'll say, oh, I didn't know, I have not brought. But now that he is there, he doesn't tell anybody anything. Each one is doing in his own way, just his presence. It is called sanidhya matra. Just in his very presence is sufficient. Similarly, very present to the Atman, Prakriti begins to act. That Prakriti you don't see. What is that Maya? Has anybody seen? What is that Prakriti or nature? Can anybody point out its form? No. We are seeing the products of nature. I am a product of nature. All these nice plants and trees, all these flora and fauna, they are all the products of nature, but who is in nature? So Prakriti, which will suit only the Atman, which will not suit the other one is Aksharaha, the one which is imperishable, it will never die. Avidya, which is called the Prakriti, dies on the onset of Jnana. When the true knowledge dawns, this darkness of ignorance, it just flies away. No more you are under the Prakriti. The man becomes independent and free. He is mukta. He is liberated. That is what happens. So, Ajnana is perishable. Ajnana doesn't have a birth. Nobody can say when it started. It is anadi. It has no beginning, but it has an end. But Atman, it has neither got a beginning nor an end. It is one which survives all, which is always there at all times, in all places. So, Avyaktaha, Akshara Ityuktaha. The Atman is both unmanifested and he is imperishable. He is not subject to any birth and death. Nobody can annihilate him. So, this is what he is told. Iti Ukta means, thus the great man says. That is what is being told. Tam ahuhu paramāṁ. So the wise men tell, ahuhu, they all say. They all say about him. Tam means about him, about the Atman. What do they say about the Atman? Paramāṁ. He is the supreme goal which everybody should have in his mind. See, we should not drift. From the early age, we should know what we want in our life. And the wise man will always choose what is the use of earning millions of rupees, putting it in the bank for wayward sons to spend it on one day in UK, going to a hotel and just or going to the casino and spending it on the wheels and becoming a bankrupt. So what consolation it is in that way. Rather try to know who you are, try to prevent this cycle of birth and death which is always going to cause you miseries. In this birth it was your son who caused you the problem. In the next birth it may be your parent who will cause you the problem. In the third one it should be your wife. In the fourth one it should be your daughter. Who knows what sort of problems you are going to get and from which cottage, from the neighborhood, from the government. So you can never know. So it is better to do away with it once for all. So that should be the supreme goal. The supreme goal should be to know the self, one's own self. So he calls it Tamahuhu Paramam Gati. Paramam means supreme. Gati means the destination. That is the goal. Tamahuhu Paramam Gati. And this destination, why is it supreme? For more than one reason. Number one, it is a destination wherefrom you need not return no more birth and death. Yes, therefore it is supreme. Apart from that, there is a beauty in it. Normally, a destination means a place where something else exists. Here, the destination, the goal is the Paramatma himself. So the Atman himself is the goal who is going to give you permanent bliss, and not only that, it is a beautiful destination which becomes also the way. The sadhanas you do, the spiritual practices you do, all the encouragement you get from where? It is the divine who is walking along with you. He is walking at every step along with you. And wherever we have become incapacitated, he carries us in his arms, that Atma. That is what is happening. So it is a beautiful, supreme path. That is why the Lord says, Christ says in the Bible, I am the way, I am the destination. I am myself the way, I am the path by which you are traversing. The path itself is right, every sadhana is right, your meditation is right. That is what the Lord says. He is the everything. So, in other words, whatever you do it with a holy instinct. That, oh, it's a meditation, I'll just come back from it. No. Take it, this meditation means the very word to induce a sense of holiness in you, a sense of sacredness in you, that the meditation itself is the Lord. There is nothing called a Lord separate from the meditation. The meditation itself is going to turn into the Atman. It is going to become the self. There is no difference between the way and the destination. And it is not only the Bible which says, our Indian Bible also tells the same thing. In Vishnu Sahasranama it says, Margo Neyo Nayo Nayaha Margaha. He is the way. We know he is the destination, he is the goal. So he is the way also. So the way, so the only thing where the destination becomes the path, how can it be? How can the destination be the path? See, a path may consist of about 300 kilometers. See, if I have to go to Delhi, it consists of 2,800 kilometers. So I cannot say the path is equivalent to destination. How can it be? Delhi is the destination. The path is 3,000 kilometers. How can it be? It can be where the distance is equal to zero. When the distance is zero, when wherever you start and finally you are traversing here and there and you are coming back here. It is just like an intoxicated rich man, fully boozed. He was sitting in his house, stopped his driver, hey, come on, take me to your house, go to my home. Sir, you are sitting at your home, sir. Hey, don't talk back. I will dismiss you. Whenever I tell, obey it. Come on. So he takes him in his car, takes him round the entire city, and brings him back to his house. Just, yes, now I have arrived. That is what we are all doing. And that is why it looks as if the path is long and tortuous. It is nowhere, it is I. It is the self. Where do you go? Where have you to traverse? There is nothing to traverse. So, he is the supreme goal, and on reaching the supreme goal, the people, the renunciate, the renounce everything for these things. People who have been completely, incessantly, continuously thinking of that Atman, and finally who reach the goal. And whenever they reach the goal, they need not have to come back, they will have no more birth and death. The same as the previous one. There is no new word here. Now, see, with this, the description of the Atman is over. Tasya tvaṁ is the Mahavakya of the Vedas. You are that thou art. So that has been told. Now thou means the sadhaka, the seeker, the aspirant. That is you and I. So now it is going to tell us how to reach the Atman. Well, you have described the Atman, it's very beautiful. But how to go there? What are the methods? What are the techniques? What are the requisites? What are the sanctimons to be observed in order to reach that ultimate place? Now he says, Nirmānamokha Jitadanga dosha Adhyatma nitya vinumuttagamaha Gandvaye vinuktaha Sugavukha gamjihi Gachantamudha Paramacharya of Kanchi. These are the people who can reach that goal, that imperishable Tat Avyayam Padam, that holy abode which never perishes, which is always there. Avyayam means the imperishable, the immutable, the unchangeable. It is all called Avyaya. Vyaya means expenditure. That which is inexhaustible, that which cannot be expended, which will never reduce in its quality or quantity at any time, which will remain as it is, status quo, which will maintain at all times, that is called Avyaya. That is imperishable. It can never be ended. So, Padam Avyayam Gachanti. So people go to such a place where they need not be afraid of birth and death. The place itself is an imperishable place, so you are safe. This world, even if I were to be immortal, I cannot remain, because one day the house will go, one day we do not know, there will be a lightning in which half the buildings could perish. You know, a few years back here I am told in Tiruvannāmalai it happened. There was a big lightning it seems, I was told. When a lot of things were submerged and all, there was a big holocaust, I would say. Stones were all falling down. See, nobody could go. So this happened. So all these things can happen, but this is a place where such things cannot happen. So Gachanti, who goes? Amudha. Who is Amudha? Amudha means the one who is not foolish. Who is foolish? Foolish is that man who thinks that his self is the body, that I am the body, or I am the senses. A man who is having this body-mind complex, who considers it as himself, well, he is a fool. So the one who knows that all these are nonsense, so the man who doesn't identify himself with any of the nonsense, but who is always constantly, incessantly merged with the thoughts of that Atman, he is called the wise person. Amudha. Amudha means the one who is not stupid. Mudha means stupid. Amudha means those people who are not stupid. Stupid enough to consider a non-self as themselves, or a person who identifies himself with his inner body, which is not consciousness, as the Atma. Then, how these Amudhas, how a man becomes Amudha, how a man can lose this stupidity. This stupidity happens to be our birthright. We have been having it for birth and birth. So how to get rid of it? The one way is Nirmana Moha. Mana means prestige, honor. This is called Mana. That is, these are all the attributes of ego. It is because of the ego I want that everybody should honor me. When I go, everybody should say Namaste Swamiji and all that. And if somebody doesn't, I promise him till he remembers, oh, I am not told like that. So all these things should happen. That is called Mana. So the man who hasn't got any of these things, a man who is absolutely egoless, who doesn't know what is the I, who is absolutely egoless, and Moha. Because you are having the ego, then because of that the Moha comes. Moha means delusion. What is delusion? The delusion that I am the body, that is the real Moha. Then naturally you get attachment towards everybody who is attached to that body. You think that they are all attached to yourself. I am the self, and these are all part of myself. That is why this wrong attachment comes. So, if one should get rid of this ego, and one should get rid of this delusion that I am the body, such persons can think that alone is not sufficient. Now there are going to be other attributes. The first one is Nirmana Moha. What do you mean by the going of the ego? See, that's a beautiful anecdote. There was a great devotee and a great scholar, a Pandit in Vrindavan, whose name was Sanatana Goswami. He was actually one of the direct disciples of Mahaprabhu Chaitanya. He was living in Vrindavan, and he was considered to be the best of the scholars available over entire India in those days. One day a big Pandit, who was very famous, who had gone and vanquished all the Pandits of all the places by arguing with them. He proved that they didn't know much, while he alone knew everything. And he used to get a certificate from them all. Yes, the people, all the scholars of Delhi accept that this particular one, he has got several titles, Tarkika Kesari, Veda Vyadhyar, he is the tiger in Vedas, and in logic, he is again a lion. So like that he has got a big title and all that. So such a Pandit came here, he called all the Pandits of Vrindavan, hey, look here, either you accept that I am the greatest in that case, here is a printed certificate, only you have to sign it, you may all sign. Otherwise, whoever wants, come on, come and argue with me on spiritual issues, and I will vanquish you all. The scholars were all afraid because they knew his reputation came before he came. So they were all afraid of him. So they said, look here, the greatest of our scholars is this Sanatana Goswami. He has got a nephew with him who is called Jiva Goswami. He is also equally a great scholar. If you can vanquish both of them, we will all sign where you want, dotted line, we will all sign, there is no question, we will all accept your supremacy. He straight went. So Sanatana Goswami, he repeated the same thing. Sanatana Goswami got that, did prostrate before him. You are a great master. How can I ever have the temerity to consider myself as your equal, not to speak of excelling you? So I accept, and whatever you say, I will sign. There was no greater scholar. It was an easy thing for him to have, but he didn't want to, because he had absolutely no ego. So he said, let that man's ego grow. Why should I bother about it? And why should I go on this thing? If you go for argument, that means your ego is there. So what is there? One fellow is going to say you are a fool. Let somebody, let the world call me stupid, let the world call me fool. What does it matter to me if I have got no ego? So he just signed in the dot. He said, that's the Jiva Swami. Sorry, he has gone for his walk to the river. He is not here. He was going in his palanquin in those days. And somebody said, there comes Jiva Goswami. He immediately got on, he went to Sanatana, the Jiva Goswami. Here is the certificate from your uncle. You know, your uncle is the best of scholars he has already given. Are you going to sign or do you want to argue? He said, what if take to me? You think that I am a fool? Come on, I will argue with you. So they went and sat in a temple. Within 5 minutes he vanquished him, this fellow could answer his questions. Then he said, take out all the certificates you have got from various people. He tore them to pieces. He said, give it to me, this Sanatana Goswami, my uncle. He tore it to pieces. In future, don't show your face anywhere near Vrindavan. He went back and told Sanatana Goswami, look here, this is what I have done. You simply signed it. The uncle got up. Look here. I am leaving this place and because 20 years I have been teaching you, and I am an incompetent fool who has not been able to teach you something about ego. You see, what is there in signing it? What is lost? Is your scholarship lost? Is your Atman lost? What is there in signing a poor fellow? On the contrary, of offended him to the core. For a long time he been nurturing egotistical dhruvō. And what have you done, you know? You have done a calamity. There is nothing in pleasing one chap. It's after all a paper. Why couldn't you have signed it? And that is Nirmana. With this we stop. Yesterday we were in the middle of 13th shloka. Nirmana moha itasanga doshaha adhyatmanitya vinivuttakamaha Dvandairu muktaha sukha dukkha samjihi gacchantyamuddhatpadamau yayantat. These are the people who will be able to reach that imperishable place, the abode of Paramatma. That is the final state. That is the final state of consciousness. That is super consciousness.